Hey, good day. This is your boy Robert Brown with Freedom on Fire. Welcome to the audio podcast for March the 12th, 2017. And had a lot of time to think today. I'm really getting sick and tired. And I don't like to say I'm sick much, because I believe you have what you speak out of your mouth. But I'm really sick and tired of the CIA, Russian intelligence, blah, blah, blah crap. All right, so the whole point is the DNC is still trying to figure out how they got their butt whooped all across the country. Not just in the presidential election, but across the freaking country, in the governorship, in the Senate seats, both in the state, in your local elections. In the U.S. Senate, got their butt spanked left and right. The Republicans laid the smackdown on them. Yet there are solutions to the issue of why they lost, and they refuse to listen to the people who know exactly why they lost. Or maybe they just in denial. Maybe they just don't want to understand that the people are not going toward the way of corporate democracy anymore. Right now, there's no stark difference between Republicans and Democrats right now, and the proof is in how they vote. And I keep telling people, stop going by imagery. Stop going by how you grew up. And look at what's been happening in the past 10 years, and you go look at the voting records. They have been voting against your best interests for the past 10 years, even with a great black man as president. Majority of the Democrats have been voting against your best interests for almost 10 years, and they're not stopping, and they refuse to stop. Why? Because they're beholding to the donor class more than you. They don't care about you. You're not putting enough money in their pocket. And what they fail to understand, that you can put more money in their pocket than the donors if they initiate policies that's going to assist you in becoming better in life. You got Hillary Clinton. Soon as Bernie Sanders said, I want 15 across the board, she's saying that's too much. That's too hard on the states. I think $12 an hour should be the minimum wage. And yet Governor Cuomo, and I was part of the fight and initiative for the fight for 15. He negotiated with a pretty much Republican-led Congress to get $15 an hour in New York City. Still not enough. And she comes in and gloat as if she had anything to do with it at the announcement of that. I was there. I was way in the back. Couldn't see me. I was so mad how you can come up here saying $12 an hour should be the minimum wage, but yet when we get $15 minimum wage, you going to go on the stage and have your hand raised up like you knocked that punch out, that you gave the knockout punch. That's why I'm getting frustrated. And now, instead of dealing with the reasons why you lost so you can fix it in 2017, 2018, and 2020, you are hard on not changing your ways. How do I know that? Well, you look at the DNC chair race. You had a strong progressive in the race, Keith Ellison, and I don't think he's that progressive, but he's the best, one of the best in the Democratic Party that can work for you. Soon as he started getting the lead, Obama and Biden recruits Tom Perez, another corporate Democrat who said, I'm going to stick a knife in Bernie Sanders' back in the election, in the WikiLeaks letter. He said that. And Obama's going to push, and Biden going to push this guy to run for DNC chair when Keith Ellison had it in the bag. And that's pretty much 2 times the Democratic Party has screwed progressives, people who want real change, who want their leaders to work for them instead of these corporate donors. Second time that happened. Second time, stabbed you in the back. Didn't stab me in the back because in July I was done. After the convention, I was done. I went back to being an independent, and I will vote individually like I always vote. I don't vote by party lines. That's the problem with most people. I vote by individual person and how they work hard for you. So mainly most of them Democratic, but some of them have been Greens. Some of them, even I vote for even some Republicans. Not all Republican bad, but 99.9% are. But the Democrats is kind of going up in that ladder too, because you have the centric Democrats, which are corporate Democrats, and all they want to do is help the corporations make more money because they're their donors. They're not going to let you get cheaper health prescription drugs because their donors are from the pharma agency. They're not going to pay them to help you get cheaper prescriptions. Hillary Clinton said it's too tough now. We're not going to do single payer, when she was the champion of single payer when Bill Clinton was in office. They given up on their core values and totally leaning right now. They are right-wing Democrats. And if you look at their voting record, that's why I tell people to wake up. Go look at their voting records. They claim to be Democrats on your side, but if you look how they vote, you'll realize they vote pretty much 80% with the Republicans. Obama put in Merrick Garland trying to appease to the Republicans. He adopted Mitt Romney's health care plan and slapped his name, called it Obamacare, and it's the best thing we got. It's better than nothing. It's better than not having anything at all. But he adopted a right-wing medical plan put together by the Heritage Foundation, a Republican think tank. He adopted that, and the reason he did, because he wanted to work across the board. He wanted to work across party line. He wanted to seem like he's working together with the Republicans. When most of the things that have been placed in law have been right-wing policies that Obama knew he couldn't get because they were fighting against him, so he compromised. Instead of compromising, he should have said, look, if you're going to not vote for this that's going to help people, I'm going to primary the last one of y'all. So, I mean, I don't buy that excuse that he had, they blocked him at every angle. No, look, if somebody block you, there's ways to get through the hole, get a hole in there. If you got a Mack truck or whatever, you got to find a way to get a hole in there. What he should have did was call them all out on TV. See, this is what I like about Bernie right now. And I've been getting pretty hard on Bernie Sanders now. I got to tell you, I've been pretty hard on him because I think he's playing sheepdog and he's trying to keep people in a dead party instead of giving birth to a new party. But one of the things that Bernie Sanders is doing is anytime Trump tried to do something, Bernie say, hey, yo, Doc, didn't you say that pharmacy agencies are getting away with murder and they need to drop the prices? Didn't you say that, Donald Trump? He will bring up a big old poster with a tweet from Donald Trump calling him out saying, is you a bold-faced liar or are you going to do this? See, that's what Obama should have did at the beginning. Whenever a Republican tried to go against him, he should have called them out and had them primaried and got their butt out of office. But no, he didn't do it. Now, let me go back to what I'm saying. I'm getting frustrated now. This whole thing was supposed to be about the Russian narrative because that right there is just a deflector. Anytime you hear government agencies or anytime you hear the media say intelligent agency said, and they don't name the intelligent agency, because you're going to assume they're the CIA, and you know how I feel about it. CIA was instrumental in Martin Luther King getting killed. They was instrumental in Malcolm X getting killed. The FBI and J. Edgar Hoover. Do you think I trust them? Really? I don't believe nothing they say. They say we had weapons of mass destruction and we end up going to war. They done escalated from 2 wars to 7 right now, going on 8. And you gonna believe the CIA? And the CIA could tell you a frog stabbed on the Prime Minister of Israel, and you'll believe that because the CIA said that. The Central Intelligence Agency. I don't believe nothing they say. It's just found out. We just found out in WikiLeaks that they've been hacking into your computers, hacking into your cameras. They have that ability. Whether they've been doing it or not, I don't know. And I teach identity theft, and I've been telling people this for the past 10 years. And people just laughed at me. I said, yeah, They can have access to your TV. You think your TV is cut off, your TV is on, and they got mics built into your TV. People thought I was crazy. When I told you they can access your phone, they thought I was crazy. They can access your camera. They can access your recording device. They can turn it on without you knowing. I told you to take your camera on your laptop, because if they don't, they can turn your camera on and look in your house. I've been telling people that 10 years ago. People didn't believe me. But now they believe me because the WikiLeaks proved it. Find out the CIA has been hacking the Samsung device. I wouldn't buy another thing from Samsung. Nothing. No TV. I don't care if they give it to me free, because it's proven that Samsung had allowed their TVs to give access to government agencies to peep into your home, they invade your privacy. Samsung. So when you go get that new Note, when you go get that new Edge, when you get that new Curve, just realize you're buying a device that can be hacked into, and people can listen to you and watch you and follow you everywhere you go. And the CIA has been initiating that. So when the government tell you intelligence source said, and they don't name the source and they don't give the evidence, you'll be a fool to buy that. I'll believe it's a lie before it's the truth. Because if you can't give me no evidence, why should I believe it? Oh, because you should trust me. Really? The organization that hacked in and listened to Dr. King and wiretap a man who was just trying to help people? Really, Malcolm X? Come on, man. Come on. So when they say this Russia, I am tired of this Russia. Number one, to this date, they say they don't have evidence. They can't produce the evidence. They say they have it, but they can't produce it. They say it's top secret. Everything's top secret. They can declassify it. We can't show the American public because it's top secret. That means they could be lying, man. They could be lying. Russia. Now, I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm definitely not a fan of Jeff Sessions. But Jeff Sessions sat on a defense committee. They oftentimes communicate with government leaders, including Russia. So, yes, they talk with Russian ambassadors. That was his job. Now, I don't want him to have attorney general, but he was just doing his job. He's supposed to. He had a job before Trump won the election. He still was on the Armed Service Committee. And in the Armed Service Committees, you got to communicate with the ambassadors of every country. So, of course, he's going to be communicating. Now, his problem was he didn't answer the question properly, because the question was, did you do it? Was that part of the campaign? He should say, no, that was part of my job as Armed Service Committee. All of them did it. John McCain did it. All of them did it. Anyway, this Russia thing is getting on my nerves, and then they trying to say, oh, if we take the troops off the border of Russia, that means that Putin do have a tape of women pissing on Trump. Come on, man. Come on. They're holding that tape because they want to make him his, puppet. Stop with this stupid stuff, man. Just realize that your girl lost because she was not a good campaigner. Bernie tried to tell her what to do to win votes. He went out there and campaigned for her. She refused to do it his way. She did it her way. Didn't offer the people nothing. Didn't talk about policies. All she talked about was that punk Trump. And she lost. And the only people who carried her water again was the African-American community. If it wasn't for her, she wouldn't have got the votes that she had. We always do that. But the working white class wasn't into her. And no, they was not racist. Now, people said, oh, those racists over in the Rust Belt. Come on, man. Stop. You don't know those people. You don't know those racists. Want to know why she lost in the Rust Belt? I'll tell you why. The Rust Belt was an industrial powerhouse. They had factories all over those places. They leaned on those factories for jobs. It was either work at those factories or work on the farms. Yes, in the Rust Belt. All kind of factories that makes parts for cars, factories that make tires, factories that make the elements that goes in your TV. We shipped them jobs overseas because of Bill Clinton's NAFTA policy that she went to Congress and lobbied for. You do understand that as First Lady, her whole job was she was trying to build a career for herself so one day she can become president. She was in the forefront, standing by. That's what I do like about her. She stood by her man through all that crap and still campaigned for him, was the biggest campaigner for his policies, including the welfare reform that put a lot of minorities on poverty, including the crime bill, which put a lot of brothers and sisters in jail for just having a bag of weed in their pocket, let alone a weed in their pocket, standing next to somebody who had weed in their pocket. And they had strike one, strike two, strike three. I can go over and over. NAFTA hurt those people in the Rust Belt. NAFTA hurt people in the big city. NAFTA hurt people in New York. NAFTA, a Bill Clinton policy, a Clinton policy. That's all you got to know. When you sit up there and you see on that podium Clinton, they thinking the Clinton family, not just her. But the sins of her husband shouldn't come on her. She was his chief campaigner for NAFTA and CAFTA. The chief campaigner. Nobody cheerleaded those programs better than she did. And those jobs went overseas and left the Rust Belt, and those people had nothing to work, nowhere to work, struggling. Some of them had to drive 3-4 hours and live on the weekends in the big city to work for a few days to come back and bring home money back in the rural area. Some of them ended on food stamps. Some of them ended on welfare because of NAFTA and CAFTA. And Trump said, look, I'm going to destroy that. I'm going to renegotiate that. I don't believe him. Big bald-faced lie. But he said something that the people wanted to hear that she didn't do. So the people in the Rust Belt was not going to vote for Clinton. I don't care what you said. The majority of those people voted for Obama. So if there was races, how come 80% of those same people that voted for Trump voted for Obama? Because Obama was a campaigner in chief. And he promised, he didn't fulfill his promises, but he promised his best to bring jobs back to those areas. He wasn't seen as a person who took those jobs from their area and sent them overseas. But anything with Clinton written on it, do. And did. That's why she lost. Stop this, Russia. It still isn't proven that Russia hacked the elections. No. One Russian hacker, just like one American hacker, did not work for the Russian government, have no proof for working for the Russian government, have no evidence of working for the Russian government. The guy just happened to be Romanian. And that's not even Russia no more. It happened to be a Romania hacker. Guccifer 1, Guccifer 2 exposed the DNC for their crooked mess. And then the people find out how much a crook they were and decided not to vote for them. 13 million left the party at the convention because they find out that Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Donna Brazile, and all the leaders at the DNC conspired to screw and railroad Bernie Sanders. They changed the polling stations. They cut down the polling area. They moved the primary date up. They did everything they could to give Hillary the advantage instead of playing fair and square. And people saw that. So come on. When the truth come out, and George Orwell said it, when the truth end up being a crime, the truth come out, you're going to blame Russia. No, it was a Russia hacker. And if anybody got more hackers on their staff hacking into people's election, it's the United States. We've done it in Israel. We've done it to Hamas. We've done it in Iraq. We've done it in Libya. We tried to get rid of Gaddafi as being a leader. We did so much stuff. So for us to be pointing the finger at Russia and not to point the finger at ourselves is hypocritical. And the CIA will not tell you that, but the evidence is there. Now let me go back to winning and losing. People, I'm tired of the Russia stuff. I can give a crap about Russia, and this is doing is escalating the Cold War and possibly a world war, and the only person going to go out there and die for the sake of money in the military complex is your children. But I guarantee you, it won't be those senators and it won't be those presidents and won't be those congressmen children that's going to fight these wars. It's yours. They're going to send your child, your babies out there, your daughter, your son out there to die for a war for no reason. All because somebody lost election and you still can't believe that she got lost to Donald Trump. I told you the reason why she lost to Donald Trump. And then I did a series called Dumb DNC Mistakes that I said if you do these things in 2018 and 2020, you're going to lose again. And by God, if you're not determined to do it again. And right now, the only thing holding the Democratic Party is Bernie Sanders. He is the Democratic Party. And they just pimping him. Yeah, they pimping him. That's all they doing. They pimping him and Keith Ellison. They thinking if we put Bernie Sanders in the forefront, we're going to get the progressives to come our way the next time the election comes. No. You got to understand something, DNC operatives, DNC talking heads. You got to understand something. Most of the progressives are not in the Democratic Party. They're independent. And the independent party is bigger than the Republican Party and the Democratic Party combined. So you're looking in the wrong area. And see, I was telling people, and I told this guy on his show, and I'm going to be back on this show soon, that they're looking in the wrong direction. The problem is the DNC feel they can do anything they want because they're only a certain percentage of progressive and a huge percentage of corporate Democrats, those who lean toward their donors. And there's few progressive Democrats or Bernie-crats or whatever you want to call that's working for the people, that sell out to the people, don't take corporate money and, things like that. But what they fail to understand is most of those people who are progressives are not in the Democratic Party. They're in the Green Party. They're in the Rent Too Damn High Party. They're in the People's Party. They're in the Progressive Party. They're in so many different parties. A lot of them are independent who, like me, I don't fall down party lines. I vote my conscience. I vote for the best person who I think is the best for the job. I check their record. I check their history. I check their voting record. That's how I vote. I don't vote by party. That's the majority. And the majority will rule. And you're going to find out the majority decided not to vote for her, and they went for Trump. And someone went for Trump because they just couldn't fathom voting for her. I didn't vote for her because I found a candidate that was better in everything. The problem is you didn't know about it because they refused to put her on TV. They didn't want you to hear from her. They didn't want you to hear her debate. Then you would have found out that she was smarter than both of them combined. Now, I'm almost done. People, come on. That's why I said that we got to get out of these parties, take off these party hats for once. Not saying you got to leave your party, but take off the party hats. Progressive, real progressives who believe in helping people over helping companies, you got to take your hat off and stop thinking party and my party need to be the one that lead. We have to become a voting bloc. That's how Dr. King did it. Dr. King was a Republican, but he leaned toward Lyndon Johnson and John F. Kennedy because they said that they were going to give our people what they need to come up in life. That's what we got to do. We got to put an initiative out there, a platform out there of the things that we want for America, our vision, the people's vision for America. Not the president, not Trump, not Clinton vision. No, not. I don't give a crap about their vision. They need to hear our vision. We need universal health care. Education in America should be a right. You shouldn't have to pay $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 to get a good education. For some of y'all, I don't smoke marijuana. Some of you think marijuana need to be a recreational drug. Me, I think it should be primary medicative drug because some of you don't know how to handle. Some of you going to smoke too much. Some of you going to smoke it too much. You're going to abuse it. But there's some things you want in your platform. We need to come up with a platform. We need to come together as a voting bloc. We need to take off our party hats and let them know how big in numbers the progressive coalition, and it has to be a coalition. Once we come together and take off our party hats and we come together, sign a petition to show how strong we are, and then we show our demands on what we want, what is our vision for America. Let's imagine you got 100 million. That's a lot of people, all saying we want no-cost health care. We want universal health care. We want a public option. We want education to be all right. You know, I can go on and on. Reparations for blacks. Reparations for black because they built this country from the bottom up with their physical labor. Reparations for the Indian people who had their land raided from them, stolen from them. Reparation for Chinese people who were brought here to build a railroad was treated like trash. Once you get that platform and the Democrats and Republicans see how big you are, they're shaking their boots. See, they're starting to realize that they can't control you. They're starting to realize they can't use stupid stuff like Russia and Trump. You know, do you understand one of the reasons? They're not going to do anything about Trump. The Democrats can get people out there marching, and they have no agenda after the march. It's all show and tell. It's all show and tell. There's no agenda. What we're going to do now the march is over with. Not a doggone thing. I hate an unproductive march. I march. I got shoes right here, still with the heels that I haven't took into the shop to get fixed from marching. I march, but I'm not going to go out there and march and waste my time. You don't have no agenda after the march. That is a failing march waiting to happen. We had the Women's March a couple of days ago. What was the agenda? What you going to do after the march? What kind of plan of policy? Are you going to? Are all the women going to stop shopping at this place? Find the companies that are paying these paying into these campaigns and shut them down. Nah, they just marched. He just marched. Dr. King, when he marched, he shut down stuff. They shut down stuff. Things got to change, people. All right. Things got to change. I'm a believer of marching, protesting, making your voice known, but it got to be smart. It got to have an agenda. I am for the people coming together as a voting bloc. Take off these party hats and let's come up with a plan, a platform, an agenda. We have to show them that we're way bigger than them, and we have to show them our demand, and we got to let them know that you're not going to get a vote. I don't care who you are, how pretty you look, how pretty you talk. I don't care if you look just like Justin Trudeau, old pretty boy, trying to act like, I mean, come on, man. Stop falling for these pretty boy presidents. They ain't doing nothing for you when you look at the record. Justin Trudeau sitting up there with an Indian headdress on. At the same time, he's running pipelines in the Indian land, and those pipelines are bursting, messing up the ecostructure. You guys got to stop falling for this identity politics, man. People are not your friends. You got to make them do things for you. You got to apply their leverage on them. I mean, I recently was involved in a union campaign, and there's certain things that the people could have got. They could have got exactly what they wanted if they would apply more pressure. But when it was time for them to rally and show up and show how strong they are and how defiant they are and how dominant they are, and they're not going to budge, and we all going to come together. And when I need y'all at the negotiation meeting, I need 50 of you at the negotiation meeting. If you off, do not do nothing. Be out there at the negotiation meeting so we can get you at least $20 an hour. Nobody shows up. The only way you're going to get what you want in America is you're going to have to apply leverage. I'm a praying man. I believe in praying, but praying needs action after the prayer. Faith without prayer is dead. Prayer without faith is dead. Faith without action is dead. You got to have something going on after the action. Prayer is one action. Then you got to start doing something after you prayed. Lifting up your finger if your finger don't move. Try to move it. Visualize it moving. Do something. Anyway, I'm done. I'm just rambling. I'm pissed off. I'm mad. I'm tired of this Russia stuff. I'm tired of the Democratic Party trying to act like they don't know why they lost. I showed many reasons what was the things that made that got their butt whooped. I told you it wasn't the Russians. The people in the Rust Belt just was not going to allow a Clinton to take the lead on nothing because the Clintons hurt that area. And I can go on and on for reasons. You go back to my Dumb DNC video series on YouTube, and I'm still not finished with that because I know there's about 4 or 5 more things I can come up with. Go back and watch that. Go back and watch that. Stop falling for this stuff the media put out there. The whole goal is we think the American public is so stupid that they'll believe anything we say because we're the government. So let's say frogs can stab you in the middle of the night. So they'll come up with a report that if you don't do certain thing, a frog will stab you in the middle of the night, and you'll believe that crap. Come on. Russia didn't do nothing. Russia didn't help Trump win. Hillary Clinton helped Trump win. And the reason Hillary Clinton helped Trump win is because she didn't do whatever she could to appease to Bernie's supporters. She hired Tim Kaine to be vice president, who is a pro-workers' right, pro-right to work government leader. In other words, he don't believe in union. He's believing in the companies have the right to dominate the employees. She's going to have this fool as her VP instead of having Bernie. She would have had Bernie, should have won by a landslide. No, it had to be her way or the highway. And her way and that arrogant smug, she wouldn't even go to the Rust Belt. She wouldn't even go to the rural areas because she's too uppity for that. Obama went out to the Rust Belt. Obama went out and shucked hay and fed cows. Obama squeezed the nipples of cows to get milk out. Obama sat there and went to the fairs. He sat there and sat in the bars and had beers with them. He stayed there 3-4 days. He didn't do that for a photo op and leave. Obama went to the factories, put on the shoes, put on a high hat and glasses, and actually helped put together cars. He was a true campaigner. He didn't assume because I got the dumbest candidate in the world, Mitt Romney, I'm going to win. He understands that when you think you're winning, you better fight like you're losing. And that's what happens when you're privileged and you get everything handed to you. You think you can get the whole world in your hand, and you can't. All right, I'm done. Look, we got to wake up out of this mess. Obviously, the Democratic Party is going to continue to go right. They're not going to come left. They're not going to become progressives. When 75% of the freaking country is progressive, they're not going to offer the progressives anything for their vote. They're going to assume it's either me or Trump. They're going to play that fear tactic, and that was the same tactic that got them to lose. You cannot use the politics of fear. You got to offer the people something to vote for. Now, I applaud the Justice Democrats. They're offering the people something to vote for, and they have candidates that's going to run against other Democrats. They're going to primary them, and we're going to get rid of those corporate Democrats. We're going to get rid of them. We're going to primary them. We're going to run people who are going to sell out to the people, and we're getting rid of the corporate Democrat. I don't care who you are. I want to thank God for the Draft Bernie initiative. I appreciate you guys doing whatever you can to show how dominant a progressive party can be in the next 2 years if Bernie decides to stop giving life support to the Democratic Party who don't like you. They don't like you, man. They don't. My mom say, she don't like you. Go find you another woman. That's my advice. Democratic Party don't like you, Bernie, and they show you that over and over again. Go find you another love. This is the time to change. This is not time to play games. I'm tired of partisan politics. I'm tired of it. I'm done. I'm done with talking points. I'm done with media narratives. I'm done, son. It's time to come together as a voting bloc, show how strong you are, write down your demands, make your demands known, make it a you do or else. We're going to get you out of office. Be strong on that. Get in the media. Talk about it wherever you go. Try to get people to participate in it. I'm Bob TV. Freedom on Fire, baby. Talk to you soon. Peace. Hey, I want to thank you, everybody, for watching the weekly podcast. This will be a weekly podcast. I ain't got time to be doing this every day. Anyway, I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way we can get our numbers up. We're doing good right we are right now. We just started this about a year ago, but hopefully we can kind of double that, triple that, 100 times, 100-fold. It doesn't matter. I'm just here to serve you. And second, make sure you like and share. Hit thumbs up and share this over in social media, Twitter, wherever you can post this up on the topic and the subject, and have a good time with those. And last but not least, I was told they'll have a GoFundMe account. I'm not the type of person to ask people to support something I love to do. I love this, and I love my country, and I love you. So I'm not in it for the money. But I was told that I had a few people say, "Hey, I want to bless you. What do I need to do to send you a few bucks to keep the mission going? Maybe you want to get a cup of coffee or a hot dog, something like that." So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start a GoFundMe account. It's going to be on the website. It's going to be on the Facebook group, and it's going to be in each one of these webcasts and podcasts and a link. So if you want to hook a brother up with a big gulp and a hot dog for $2, I'll take it, because I need to leave it alone because I'm getting kind of fat. But go ahead and support if you want to. I'm here to serve you, and that's all that matters, because I love you. I'm Bob TV, Freedom on Fire. See you next week on the weekly podcast, and I'll see you this week as the news unfold before our very eyes. I will give you comments on it. Peace.